Welcome to Pop Chat. This is an impromptu type thing. We had a guest tonight. We were having difficulties tonight. Michael, Anthony Ingram was supposed to be on with me this evening, but for an hour and a half, we fought it. He couldn't hear me. Alan Johnson, please connect your device because you're supposed to be part of the show. So Alan's joining us. If anyone else wants to join, just message us and we can add you to this as well. We're just it's a free for all. We're discussing, sharing, playing some videos if Alan gets them to me. I don't know what happened to Alan. Says his device is not connected, so not sure. But hopefully Alan will be joining us soon. So we have a couple of viewers. If you do comment, please comment who you are so we know who you are. Christian Romero Diaz should be joining us. I don't know if Timothy Payton's going to come in or not, but if anyone wants to join, please do. And I'm going to message Alan real quick. So why don't you share a poem with us while we are waiting for Alan? I'm going to get it over to you, Kelly.
Okay, so I am in my PJs. It's like 20 past 11 here in the UK, guys, but I don't mind anything for poetry, obviously. So, okay. Being like little Miss Muffet who's sat in a tuffet, but she's not eating her curds and whey. Needs a solution, not to cause any confusion. She's wanting ideas to stay. Plans have been made but have been decayed as others don't pass on the scoop. None of it matters because the plans are now tatters. Ideas that have turned into poop. Feeling a bit like a muppet leaving that green grass tuffet, holding head down as plans go astray. She wanted that spider to sit down beside her, talking misfortunes away. Future plans to be made, but she is afraid as life throws her avoidable tatters. She gets upset, but holds her head high in a misfortune that obviously matters. Okay, so what shall we next? What are dreams? Are they meant to be crushed? Or are we running towards walls that need to be pushed? Why do we allow ourselves just to follow one's heart, knowing we should have walked right from the start? Once the heart bleeds, do we need to put it on paper? Do we burn that mother up? Do we save it for later? Will we always feel crushed, wishing others said true feeling, when right from the start, the words held no true meaning? A new book forming while I rage from the heart, wishing dreams and words held truth right from the start. Your microphone's off, Annette.
Of course it is. I was trying to be polite. So, if anyone wants to join us in just reciting, we're just doing an off-the-cuff thing. And Alan will be joining us shortly. You just need to identify yourself in your comment section. And Greg Etzel's here for 5 minutes. Okay, Greg. So this is called, I just wrote this, and this is called Myriad of Thoughts. When a myriad of thoughts trickle, are you muting yourself or something? Okay. Myriad of thoughts. When a myriad of thoughts trickle in your rambling mind, when dark solutions are the only answers you can find, hush those thoughts. Allow rational thinking entrance in. Analyze carefully. New gained insightfulness shall begin. Throw the negativity aside. Do not lend it to your precious time. Know that there is hope in tomorrow. Things soon will be fine. For if you are riddled with angst and let the darkness take hold, you will be lost in the wilderness, having lost power and control. You will soon fall the victim down rabbit holes, chasing dreams. Listen to the whispers of the wind, sage advice from the unseen. Do not let your mind race and with your incessant futile worries. Be patient with yourself. Take time and Do not be hurried. Enjoy your ride of life. Do not hide yourself behind a veil. Allow yourself to cherish joys. Soon happiness will prevail. For there is nothing you can't do. All is just within your grasp. Hold on to your hopes and dreams. Ignore the lies of the asp. For the path you take in life is one that only you can choose. Heed the right direction. You have all to gain, nothing to lose. So this is actually Mental Health Month. So that's kind of a good mental health type one. And Alan's supposed to be joining us again. Do you have a mental health one?
I've got loads. Okay, so I've done Miss Muffet. Okay, so Mary, Mary, not so scary, hiding in the back of that mirror. I'll stand my ground. I'll hunt you down. I'm telling you, I'm going to win you. A fairy tale, a rotten myth, a belief that can damage the brain. An unbelievable tale of a violent female, a myth that can drive you insane. You won't come out the same, with only yourself to blame. Because Mary, Mary, not so scary. She's an image created by fear. We power her source, our fears, of course. I'm pulling the plug, my dear. So, Mary, Mary, don't you dare me to look in the mirror at you. I'll stand my ground. No need to hunt you down. I turn my back on you. I take back my power.
Yay! Taking back power.
Yeah, definitely.
So I have one I wrote the other day. In a world unto self. When I speak, are you really listening? As I communicate with you through my eyes, facial expressions, and gestures, trying to captivate your attention. When I write, do you comprehend my meaning, whether straightforward or perhaps hidden behind a metaphorical paradox of words, riddled with meaning, awaiting your astute discovery? The secret lies hidden, yet discoverable by those who seek to understand. For I am a unique gemstone. My properties may be similar to others, the softness of an opal, the hardness and premium clarity of a diamond, but nonetheless a gemstone, uniquely created that cannot be reproduced in a lab, nor found in a mine. When I share my thoughts, are you listening? Or are you lost within the world of self, where your reality cannot fathom my dreams, for they exist in their own world? And if you study it analytically, it may contain parallel aspirations to your own world, of which I have been barred. That's it.
Love it.
Woo!
A beautiful poem. I love your poems. I love that one about Ned. I know I've heard it like 14 times already, but I absolutely adore that poem.
Go ahead and share another one while we're waiting.
Okay.
And if anyone
So,
wants to join us again, just say so in the comment section and identify who you are so we can send you a link. I have no way to share the link on here because it won't let me post a comment. I don't think. Uh, wait a second. Wait a second. Can't post comments to some destinations. I might be able to share the link. So I didn't think before when I've tried to do that, let me. So let me do that real quick
okay.
and see if it will let me. So I'm just gonna put link if you want to join us live. All right, so let's see what happens. Uh, oh, well, that didn't happen. Oh, and then you were gonna read another poem because I have to go get my plug-in upstairs apparently.
Okay. So I'll just start reeling them until you come back then.
All right, I'll
Okay.
be back
So
in just a minute.
cool. I always write my poems, removing thoughts from my head. Seeing the word as I fill blank space. I've already done that one. I'm sorry. I apologise. Let me start again. No. Okay. Walking home from work today, I was stopped by a very confused man. He said, I seem to be lost, my dear. I replied, I'll help you if I can. He wanted to know my name, the honest poet, Kelly Owen. I clicked my app, brought up my map to show the gentleman where he was going. Would you like a poem, sir? A smile lit across my face. The rhymes they roared, the lyrics they soared, a magical blanket around our space. You get underestimated. I can see you've seen it all. The man continued, my God, dear girl, I believe that this takes balls. This man had been in an accident. He was very nearly dead. Trauma from the scars he bears, the rather large one down the front of his head. To this man, I am a mystery. Through poetry, he related. He saw me for the poet I am. I wasn't underestimated, just helping a man who was getting frustrated, no longer discombobulated. Hello, my sunshine. You're not smiling today. The clouds moved over, making my sky look grey. The rain started falling, so I looked at the view. Then the clouds moved away, so that I could shine through. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray my rights are mine to keep. We once were proud, the strong of us pray. Let us spread some act of faith today. You call to take our freedom. You aim to take our rights. You are the cause of our destruction. There are no heroic knights. No fairy tale ending us standing tall as the world stands back to watch it fall. Why? The chaos, the walls of what once was, as you sit there with your just because. So now I lay me down to sleep. I pray to the universe for these stones I keep, to keep me hard, to keep me strong, stop any inner coward when things go wrong. Please keep me well, please keep me safe. I have unbreakable self-belief and I'll never lose faith. I know what is right and I know what I see. There is no hidden coward in me.
Okay, I am back. Alan Johnson, I think, is there.
Okay.
Christian's there. Look at my very bad, wait a second, my very bad painting I made today.
That isn't bad. It's really good. See, I've got the
Wait a
shots of this painting. She really doesn't give herself enough credit for her work.
Well,
Like,
it looked
seriously.
good, and then I got a hold of it and started to
Sometimes I think the only curse of Annette Tarpley is yourself, because you're a great artist, but you don't assume the fact that you are a great artist.
Oh, no, no, no. So see, this is my artwork I did today. The poor painting that didn't come out too well, and then so I went and I went and added metallic to it. To yeah, it looks better in person.
It's amazing.
You don't like it, do you? Which way does
No,
it
we
go?
love it. It's just that you've got so much self-doubt. We want to slap it out of you.
Yeah, and the metal too. And the metal.
I guess it could go
That's
anyway,
me slapping
right?
the self-doubt.
Well, it's a
Excuse me.
funky thing, isn't it? It's very abstract.
No,
So,
but
Christian, I'm
the
going to put this
important thing
down.
is the feeling you put in there. It's the feeling, and it's traduced in a work of art, and that's marvelous.
Well, it can only get better. I haven't learned how. There's a way that you're supposed to you know. Hold on a second. I'm trying to get this so it doesn't go paint this anyway.
Oh my God, there's music! Wow, Alan, how are you? Alan's playing
Alan
something.
Johnson playing for this. I'm gonna go wash my hands.
Oh my goodness. do bakery, I have my hands like that, but with dough and with pizza dough and everything like that.
All right. So there you go. Um,
Hello, Alan. Nice
how
to
are
meet
you,
you.
Christian? I thought it
I'm
was
terrific.
Ronaldo
Thank
then.
you.
I was going to ask him for a few bob, but it's not. It's Romero. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good, dear
Where's
Alan.
where's our illustrious
It's a
leader
pleasure and
gone?
an honor to meet you.
No,
Finally,
oh, I don't think it is really. Come on.
I
I'm just
think. I think
just I'm just a
it's
me.
for
Um,
me to you. For me to you.
Thank you,
It's an
Christian.
honor.
It's good of you. Kelly, I like the poem, by the way. I did hear everything, but I just wasn't online. And this goddamn thing, this
What?
thing
Hmm?
has
Did you
caused
see
me.
my bad work of art?
I don't want to see any bad work at this time of night. Thank you.
Show your hands. They're clean.
They what? No, this thing in my hand. It's a USB
No,
stick.
no. Annette had a hand full of paint, and she said, "Oh, this is a disaster. It's a disaster." And it was
Look at
just
it, Alan.
paint in her
Alan would
Yeah,
hand.
it's
agree.
actually really good. Her painting is
Yeah,
really
wow,
good.
this is
Right.
genius.
Did you manage to clean it up afterwards? Oh, sorry. I thought you might have spilt the paint then.
I like this man.
Oh,
He's naughty.
Yeah, I love it too.
Pretty good, Annette. You know, for
Alan, what
somebody who's
happened with the
wise.
pen drive? What you were saying that this cost you so much trouble.
They did because the information that Annette wants is on here,
Hmm.
and I've run out of USB slots on my computer.
Okay.
And in order to download, they take a little time, and which means I can't be on this software as well as download. Basically, I just can't do it in it. I have sent you one, I think.
let me check, sir.
Wow.
But Christian, do you want to read something? Or Alan, would you mind uh
No,
reading something yourself?
me? I don't.
Yeah.
Let me think. What can I read? Uh,
What about the black and white bus or whatever?
Annette, Jill Killerman, Stuart
I love
Dan.
that. I love that. It has a soft spot in my
I
heart.
don't even know it. I only wrote it. I don't remember a damn thing I write. Unlike Kelly, she's fantastic. You weren't reading that, were you? Why am I
You
pointing
sent
at
me
the camera?
Stuart Dan's. You didn't send me mine. What's with that?
I like to learn
No,
my poems.
preference, I think.
I, I,
Um,
I can read one poem.
can you please? Thank you. That gets me out of trouble. Thank you.
That's why I did it.
Excellent. And if you've got another one, even better. Same for you, Kelly.
uh, like Nigella Lawson said once, oh, I tried. Well, uh, this called Finding Sparkles. In English and in Spanish is Encontrando Destellos. And it says like this. Tin, 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 tin. This says, so many lights go along in our lives. The independence of the red and blue souls have happened over this existence, mortal and human beyond itself. I've come, more than a lonely spirit, less than a tree, equally portion of flesh. These mammoth adventures made of brightness and sorrow, captivated in the joyful pleasure of themselves. I have stepped on a crossroad of good and evil, an scenery built by the mirrors in this inner music, playing inside of everybody, with tenderness in the heart, having so many things to do, but spiritually nothing else than finding a few sparkles. Thank you.
Very good. Very
Thank
good.
you.
Well
Thank you
Thank
so
done,
you.
much.
Christian.
Bravo,
Very
bravo.
good.
Alan, would you like to read us something?
I have nothing.
Please, please,
Uh,
please, please, please,
I
Alan,
wish
please.
I had something. Christian Diaz, you're not related to Cameron Diaz, are you?
No, if I were, I would be handsomer, but I'm not like
Yes,
this.
Oh, stop.
I'd be on the phone straight away.
I
He
would
can
be
he
blonde.
can cook though. He can cook. So So
Um,
I think.
You
well,
can do.
Do y'all mind if
Annette.
I read a short story?
Well, I don't know.
Please, 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 Annette.
Yeah.
As long as you have your hands clean.
My hands. Oh, you mean
See, see.
the painting?
Well, I still have a couple spots, but
No, that
this is
doesn't count. Oh.
this is.
What?
I think I actually did this for one of Alan's shows.
Oh
Um,
dear.
listen to him. This is called the Willow Tree of Forbidden Love.
I got
Do
this,
you
by the
remember
way.
that, Alan? Oh, look it!
Sorry.
I
Well,
gave
no,
that to Alan. Look at that, his
Kelly.
award.
Look at this. Look. Hey,
Wow.
I
Looks
know.
amazing.
I
Um,
sent that to Alan,
but
and you
I
so
don't know
deserve
what
it.
to do with it. It's a bit dusty now.
You can
Not
use
sure
it
what
as
to
a
do with it.
paperweight.
No,
Show
no,
them
no.
your Alan. Show them your fan that you
Steady,
use.
steady on now. Hang on, just a minute. I've got a shelf to put this on. Show them my what?
Your fan that you
Ah,
use. What you use for a fan?
I don't know where that is. I don't know if I got
Okay.
rid of it or
Okay.
gave it to someone. Most is a. I don't know where
He
that is.
uses this for my book, children's book, for a fan.
Oh, this one. No, that's not it. Listen,
You're very
we don't
funny
have a lot of
today.
people coming on board. Greg, I think he's gone now, isn't he? I
I don't
think.
know who's here. They aren't talking.
No, Annette, my poetry. I don't do poetry. I narrate.
Will you
Christian
narrate
Kelly.
something you've written, sir?
No, um, simple. Because I don't have anything to hand. You've caught me unawares tonight because
Alan,
initially
I'm so
Christian,
sorry.
I came in initially to help Annette um, with her life, really, because her internet and all these connections she had were causing her problems. So I'm not organized at all. I had my slippers on, Kelly, just like you. You've got your PJs. My screen is over there. That's why I keep looking over there.
Can I say
Um,
something?
yes, please do.
Thank you. Alan, you have such a profound voice that it's
I haven't.
impossible that the feeling that you put into all your narratives and all the things you describe poetry and stories and being a storyteller that you have no poetry in your brain.
I
So,
do. I do,
so
Christian. Um, I have explained this before. You know, when an actor goes on stage, they get into character. Okay, and that's what I do. And I was actually showing my wife this yesterday,
mhm.
and it frightened the bejeebers out of her because I'm able to control the voice. Um, when you have a microphone that's pretty good, this one, Annette has one of these,
I never use it.
never uses it.
Why not?
Hmm?
You should,
Now,
you should because
I have another
you
microphone
you
which
have
is out.
very beautiful voice, and if
Oh,
you
well,
use
so,
that
no,
microphone that she has, you will say like, "Whoa,
basically, I always
whoa."
say to people, Christian, if you put your hand in front of your mouth when you speak, listen to
Okay,
the change of your voice, okay? Because it does change because of the acoustics.
I didn't know that.
Now,
Thank you, Alan. Thank
so
you.
if you take your hand to
No,
one
I
side
don't.
and then put your hand in front, it will change. Now, I narrate with a close mic, which means I'm very, very close to a microphone. Um,
I am
so
sorry. I
it's
was
acting. It's a lot of dramatic. It's acting that on my part. Do I write poetry? Yes, I
Do you have to
do.
do something, Christian? Do you have to do something?
no, no. I was being some subnet some
Summoned.
some in by someone, but no problem. It's
That
just that
sounded
my
like a
dogs are
teacher,
in the
Kelly.
garden, and you can hear the bark, bark,
Yeah.
bark, bark.
What do you think, Kelly? That sounded like a teacher, didn't it? A teacher in school. Do you have to do something, Christian? Please, sir. Please, sir. You know, I
No.
need the toilet. Oh, she's gone again.
I'll be right
Um,
back.
Alan, you were
She'll be
saying
back in a
about
second.
the things of the actor, about the experience of the actor,
yes,
and the
yes.
acoustic of the microphone. That's what I got
Well,
interrupted. I'm sorry.
mainly the microphone and the recording, the EQ, the editing uh, produces the voice that is produced. The one you hear now I don't go into shops sounding like my narrations. I think they'd kick me out. Um, Plus, I
No,
can't make
you,
an
I've
you
heard
have
option.
a great
I-
voice.
I've heard
Even not
some that
being
say,
with a microphone, you have a very powerful voice and profound voice.
Um,
When I hear something that you have a narrate, I feel like I'm in the ocean.
really,
Yes,
let's hope you can swim.
I do,
Yeah.
and I float like that.
But no, I
Oh,
think the point I'm making is we all have the same power in our voice. You know, if you speak to a child, you speak to a child in a completely different way you would speak to me. You know, and that's what happens in poetry because I look at the words. If Kelly, I'm hoping Kelly, you send me a poem. I will. I am looking forward to narrating it for you as a gift to you,
thank
um,
wow.
you.
and I'll
He
do the
charges
music.
me. He charges me a considerable
Yeah,
amount.
well, the gifts, honestly. Um,
That's a great honor.
yeah, and
Great.
Christian as well. You know, because there's nobody else here. There's just us four. Christian, send me a
Yeah.
poem
I
as
don't know
well.
if
Well,
I'm
have a look,
about high. I'm in the.
dig through the files, see what you can come up. Nothing. Don't want. I don't want 5 books. Just give me a poem. Nothing major,
Okay.
and I'll do what I
Thank
can
you,
for
Anna.
you.
Thank you,
Um,
Anna.
but no, I have listened to people in the past narrating. I don't mean people on Passion of Poetry or my site. Um, Over the years, I've heard people, and I've thought, oh my god, it's terrible. It's shocking. And then I look at all the comments and people saying it's fantastic, it's beautiful. And I'm
Mm,
thinking, oh, get a life for God's sake, you
mm.
I
know.
had someone kill one of my poems right in front of me, and it was so disturbing. I
Mm,
almost cried.
yeah, yeah.
Do you know
I
what
un,
happened? What
I
happened once?
unfortunately I do have a voice where I couldn't make an obscene phone call. They'd know exactly who it was. Um, and
Alan,
that.
I think that
Yeah,
I think what we would like for you to do is
yes.
do an impromptu like uh somebody sends you their poem and you read it now so we can see you at work.
Well, you're not really seeing me at work because I record my work. Yeah. But
I
yeah, by all
know.
means, send me whatever you wish. You mean send me a poem now?
Yeah. Yeah.
How do I do that?
Some of the things I've heard three works of you,
Right,
two made to Annette and two and one to made to another poem. And
right.
when I first thought when I listened to you, you like a lot putting skies in your videos. And
Sorry, put
like I told you, I felt like I was in the image, but your voice kept
thank
me to the ocean, and that's undeniable fact to me that you can join both things. I'm so
you.
sorry, my English is not that great,
No, it's good.
but
I can understand you. It's good.
I love the sensation that you were in the skies and your voice kept me to the profoundness of the ocean, the deepness of the ocean.
Thank
And
you.
that's something I love to experience. It's a feeling and very strange, but it's real for me. And I congratulate you for it. I'm a fan. Um,
Thank you. I
sorry.
really do appreciate it. It's nice of you. It really is. I don't do it. Um, you will see that on YouTube. I don't put my name to anything um, because it's not about me. It's about you, the poet, and that's important for me because um, I'm just doing a job the best way I possibly can, and
But you do wonders.
I don't do it. It's people say, "Oh, you're humble, you're talented." I'm not going to swear, but I don't go down that avenue. I don't like that kind of thing. I'm not a spotlight kind of guy. I've said to Annette in the past that if I won an Oscar, I'd get somebody else to collect it for me. It just doesn't interest me. Um, that
You're
I just I
opposites. You could
pardon.
pass it to me.
pass it to you, indeed, Kelly. I like Kelly. I've listened to your interview with Annette. I think it was about a week or something ago.
Yeah.
I don't know, and I was listening to this girl, and I thought, now she's my kind of slice of cheese because she says it as it is, and I like that, you know. But then I had my reservations about her, and I started thinking, and I was a bit confused in myself. But then,
Like an onion.
sorry,
I'm like
no,
an onion. I've got many layers.
yeah, indeed, as I suppose most of us do. But I realized what you're about because I did a little bit of research, only on Facebook, because that's as far as I could go. I had a look at Crime Watch, but there was nothing there, and I thought, hang on, this is a woman who's got a great voice in what you're portraying and what you're putting over, and we need more people to listen. We listen to a lot of poetry about about love and I don't know, that kind of thing, romance. Fine,
Oh, I keep them to myself, most of them anyway.
but you don't. You
I
you know,
do most of the time. I've got quite a few, and I don't share. Not
yeah,
all.
I
and
think that I know Kelly very well because we've spent literally hours talking. So I think that people don't really know the depth of Kelly. Kelly has a lot of depth. She very much, yes, you do. Stop. And she very
No,
much.
I
You
don't
said
give
yourself. You
everybody
said you're like.
everything.
You said you're like an onion. You have many layers, and she does. But she's very intelligent, and she's very
yep,
much a go-getter, and very. She is very ingenuitive. I pronounced that wrong. You know what I mean. So,
I
Yes.
do.
but she just, I mean, and she's been great for pop because she's really trying to, I think, help people and bring new things to light. So Christian, I think, has a good appreciation. Christian, the first time that he listened to her was on our open mic, and I watched his face the whole time, and he was just like a kid in a candy shop. He just like was so amused. by her.
Come on, Ned.
You were, you were just
You
like a
Okay,
kid.
man.
were.
I was. Because I was amazed how you can rejoin all these elements in your poetry and your speaking.
It
It was
just
very.
happens. It's like magic. That's why I call it my gift.
I know, but it was very impressive because you when you when they ended up the open mic and when you went like and they put and you were singing and you were acting and you were um, illuminating the screen with your art, and that's something pretty amazing.
Thank you.
Stuart's here. Stuart's in the house. That's his
Hey,
signature
Stuart.
roses. Stu, do you want to join us in the studio? And in fact, speaking of Stu, why don't we play his video right now? Since that's the only one Alan gave me was
thank
Stu's.
you, thank you.
Thank you. Here we go. Here it is.
Lord, the last time I cried, I was alone in my fears. The salt burning my eyes as I shed sadness tears. My rose had dried and wilted, her mirror dusty and dull. A heart that no longer beats, love that can no longer pull. Her beautiful soul no longer felt, just an emptiness that shows. A flame that flickers no more, its light that no longer glows. Lord, the last time I cried was over a memory that I saw. They have started to fade fast, now they are much harder to recall. There is no moon in my night sky, no more shooting stars to see. I have wished on every one of them to have her back here with me. No darkness gives way to daylight. Her sunlight that is no longer there. No more breeze that now blows gently through her auburn hair. Lord, last time I cried, I was on my knees in prayer, asking you to hold her tight, to tell her I will always care. Begging you for your rains to once again nourish my rose, I asked to see her reflection in her mirror, so she knows. I want to see all the daylight, to feel once more her warming sun. I asked you to help my memory, for me to remember everyone. Lord, the last time I cried, I said to you to bring her here, that if that was not at all possible, then give me faith and the strength to persevere.
Wow. I don't know where
Have you
Alan
lost
went.
Alan
He's
again?
MIA again, but that was wonderful, Stuart, Dan. And I can certainly see why Alan chose that, because it's marvelous. It really
So
is.
I'm
Here,
speechless.
he's back. Let me add him back in the stream. That was absolutely marvelous. Stuart is
That was
such.
good.
Can I interrupt? Let's
Sure.
give it a woo! Woo! That was
Um,
amazing, Alan.
did
Amazing.
the
Not
did the vid,
only was it a great poem, but your delivery, Alan, was so great. You
Thank
did a
you.
wonderful job.
Now can I ask, did the video play okay, or did it crackle?
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
No,
good.
it was
It didn't play okay at
impeccable.
my end at all. Um,
That's because
anyway,
you're a little quirky. So,
yes, I am a little bit quirky. My everything's in the way. Okay, so you want me to read? Is Stuart coming on or not?
No, but I'm going to give the screen to you. I sent him a poem of mine.
You don't
He's
have
going to
to
read
give it. No, don't put the screens. I hate seeing myself on screen.
it. Okay, I won't do it then. So
Thank
high
you.
maintenance. He's so high maintenance.
I know. High maintenance.
You
Okay.
can talk, and I will move my lips like blah blah, and with your voice, that
like he
would
can be
be
the
a
voice.
flattering sensation.
Right.
You,
This poem is Annette Tarplay. I've forgotten what it's called. What's it called? The bus something? Annette, you sent it to me.
wasn't the last bus ride or something like that?
Yeah, the last bus ride. Okay, I'm just scouting. For the sake of something, um, Kelly and Christian. Oh, you're muted, but you can hear me, I think. Anyway, um, what I normally do is this is how I get poetry. It's sent to me, and then I put it onto Notepad, and then I can go through the words in case there's some words in there that I just cannot pronounce, because that happens a lot, and then I end up pronouncing it wrong, which means that my recording has to be done again from the beginning. You know, it's not one of those things you can just start recording from that point, because the momentum, you've lost the momentum of the poetry. So I think you understand that part. So this is something bus, the last bus ride, I think it's called, and I'll do the best I can. Now, obviously, this is without any reverb and all that nonsense. Oh, music! I could play at the same time, I guess. No, forget it. Right. Oh, here we go. So she cradled the ornate urn in her arms. This would be Bill's last ride. Next in line, greeted by the driver, he also served as their guide. "Excuse me, ma'am," the bus driver said. "This trip is for couples only." And pointing to the urn, "I brought my husband." He stared at her closely. She boarded the bus and sat on a seat, behind where the driver sat. Driver, taking his seat, turned and smiled, then engaged in a bit of chit chat. The engine turned. They started their journey, heading for the parkway. It was fall. The leaves were turning. It was a glorious autumn display. Miles down the road, she tapped on his shoulder. Please stop at this. Sorry, I do apologize. Please stop at this overlook. The scenery beautiful, remembering their wedding, beginning chapter of their book. That day was magic. On a blanket they lay, looking at the stars and the moon. 60 years later, she would carry him back, recalling that magical June. Removing the lid of the urn, she whispered, You are free, my beloved, always kind and caring, my prince, my lover. We fit like a glove. She walked back to the bus, settled in her seat, a smile on her face. A warmth rushed her body, smelt his cologne and the hug of his embrace. Yeah, there you go. Something like that. I can't
Well
hear any.
done. I like that.
Thank you very much, Alan. Wow,
Can you
wonderful.
just
Something
can
like
you
that.
just come and read all of my books to me, please?
I could. Mary had a little lamb. Anyway, that's a bit rude. I won't go there.
Oh, wait,
Uh,
I've got one of
no,
them.
no, stop it.
No.
I bet you have. Yes, indeed, Kelly. Poor Christian, you know what we're talking about now. Um, it's funny, these nursery rhymes. Again, I've mentioned this to you, Annette, in the past. A lot of these nursery rhymes have different stories, including
Oh yeah, we were
the
talking about that the other
plague,
day.
the Black Death,
Yeah.
that kind of
The
thing.
red roses.
The
The
Red
ring of
Rose. Yes,
roses.
yes, indeed.
Ring
Um,
Around the Rosie probably is one, right? Pocketful of Posy.
yeah, it is. It is indeed. I've no doubt. But the black and white van is one that I wrote. I'm going to play it, but I don't know if you can hear that. Will you be able to hear that the same?
I don't know. You can try.
Let me play it on here. Let's see what you think.
It's a
At the
great
edge
one.
of the village,
Oh,
there lived an old man.
Yeah,
He
start it
lived
over.
quite alone in his black and white van, happy enough to live all alone. No TV or newspaper or need of a phone. The farm that was near fetched milk and fresh bread. The old man fixed fences as payment instead. He helped where he could, the villagers did say, the lonely old man by himself Christmas Day. The day did arrive, he had died in his van, the kindest of people, this lovely old man. At the edge of the village, on days that you can, the old man's spirit and a black and white van.
there you go.
Bravo.
Yeah, it's not the
Love it.
best way of playing it, but
That's a true story, Alan,
it
correct?
is. It is indeed a true story. I lived in Kelly, Christian. I was brought up in Ireland, hence the pathetic accent that I have. Um, so yeah, and in the village, this gentleman lived in a black and white van, and his way of paying for food and cigarettes and things was to help the local people by painting fences and doing bits of things for them. And of course, Christmas came. He was found basically in his van, and he had died. It was very sad, and there was nobody there for him at all. Um, and I was in the village at the time, lived in the village. So yeah, there you
You
go.
know,
Based on a true story,
sometimes,
I guess.
sometimes, I'm sorry to interrupt you. I'm very good interrupting lately, so I'm sorry. Um, you know, sometimes, in a lot of times, art can be liberating, but some other times it's like a prison.
Mm.
I feel a lot that way because you can see something like the things you're doing, the poetry, like here in all of us. And sometimes I feel like in a cage with my humble art manifestation, whatever.
Yes.
And but sometimes that cage can be broken, and that's when I believe when the true art floats away,
Mm.
like your words. And I don't know if I'm mistaken or I'm not, but when you read something, I think you put in the feelings that you have kept inside of you most of your life. That's my perception. Am I wrong?
I think you could be right. Um,
I
it's
wrote a poem for Alan one time, but I don't know that he'd like for me to share it.
not really. Um,
All right, I won't.
I'm joking, you girl. She doesn't get my humor, Kelly. She just doesn't get it.
I
I got
love
Um,
this
it
poem.
instantly as soon as you came on. It was like, yes, I like this person.
no, I mean, listen, there's a couple of things you need to know, and I keep explaining this to people because I do get questions. I had a question from one of our poets saying, I've heard you on one of the shows and you sound nothing like your recordings. And I said, absolutely right. Why the hell
Try to
should I?
say no, I'm better. I
Um,
sound better.
I said, the difference is um, if you come to my studio, my project studio, I can make you sound better than what you are because that's what I do. That's my job is to present the poetry, the music, the video, whatever I do in the best way I possibly can. And when I use my voice, I have to use all kinds of different EQs, compressors, limiters. It goes on and on and on. It's almost like a guy on stage with a guitar. If you don't plug it in, it's going to sound a bit. Ugh. Plug it in and add a bit of bass, and it's a completely new ball of wax. Then it is a guitar. So that's what I'm trying to explain to people is that because people said, "Hang on, that's not you." I said, "Well, it is." Even my wife knows it's me because she's seen me here do it. Um, but when it's finished, she will say, "Wow," or not necessarily my wife, but my son will say, "Wow, that's good. That's fantastic how you've done that." Um, but as I said, I don't go into my local shop talking like that because it would look stupid. Can you imagine me asking for a bag of sugar as if I was narrating it? It just, you know, you know,
Can
uh,
you the low a pound of sugar
I
from the
would sound
sky
like Toad of
and give
Toad
it to
Hall
me,
from Wind of the
please?
Willows. Excuse me, sir, could you give me a bag of sugar, please? And they think, oh, I won't use that word, Schweppes. Um, you know, so there you go. That's my excuse. And as for my upbringing, Christian, um, it was pretty damned horrible. And I have shared this with many people, and it's good for me that I do share because I'm 66 now, and it's helped me to get over the bad times. It was horrendous. I had no childhood. Childhood was didn't exist. Um, I met my mother once. Um, I've had quite a few jobs. I'm looking at this. Difficult to talk to a camera that's there and the screen's over that way. Um, I've had quite a few jobs, but in every job that I had, my mother died in every single one of them. So I could get time off because I didn't know my mother. So that was pretty good, getting at least a week's holiday because I pretended that my mother had died. But I didn't know my mother, so it didn't matter. Um, So yeah, I didn't know my mother, and I was brought up in an orphanage in Southern Ireland, physically, mentally abused. About 20 years ago, I received compensation from the Irish government and from the Catholic Church. Um, that's their way of sweeping it under the carpet, I guess. Um, but now I'm 66. I have three boys of my own, married for 31 years. And I am doing what I enjoy most, and I love supporting poets. I like to give poets the platform they need, especially for poets that nobody's listening to. Nobody comments, and I just want to drag them off and say, "Hey, whoa, whoa, whoa! Don't give up because nobody says anything. See if I can help you." And then I'll narrate a poem, and then suddenly that poet, he or she, is elevated to that stage, and it's good. Gives me a great feeling, and I'm a happy man, you know.
So
But I,
I want to read this poem that I wrote for you.
she still wants to read it anyway. What the hell? Go on, Annette Top.
Please, please.
Please
It's
do.
called the boy within the man.
It is.
Thrown into a perilous life, abandoned and all alone, a young lad he was, no parents, no one, no excuse me, no parents to make a house a home. Who was he? Where did he belong? He cried in disparity. By many he was used and abused, a broken commodity. A young boy with a keen mind, growing up before his time. Adults who chose to look the other way, accessories to the crime. On occasion, a man would visit, a relative who saw his potential, a protege on ivories his fingers played, his savior who was influential. Despite his hardships, he grew up, a young man wise beyond his years. He would give accolades to others, yet for himself shunned the cheers. A giving heart he possessed, kind and caring, gilded in gold. His truth he hid, no one else quite like him. His story remained untold. This remarkable man of many talents was a gift given to the world. Denying the truths a woman told him, his boy would not believe her girl. To shed light on his talents, this man with purpose was her plan. Yet the girl within her failed to convince the boy within the man.
Thank you. Thank you, Annette. Very nice. Well,
It's
and very
beautiful.
true. Yeah. But, you mentioned, Kelly, about mental health, issues in people. Um, and Annette, again, knows this, that uh, my narrations, when I get paid for narrations, because it is a business as well, um, the money for that is going to my son's girlfriend's charity, which is prevention in teenage suicide. Yeah. So I wasn't taking the money for that. Annette told me some time ago that I should be rewarding myself now. Um, and I have lied to Annette because she is the only one that does pay me, and it only comes to me. The rest of it is still going there to the charity. Um, and I don't know what the amount is so far, but I know it's something in a region of £6,500 so far that I've donated to that charity, that I could have had in my own pocket. But it's only because I want to do that, you know. It's not, and you guys have got to understand it. I know there's only us here, but you have to understand. I'm never about me. Never ever about me. I really like. I'm a people's person. People, whatever.
You know,
And
and you're
and I don't
healing
do it for
souls.
attention. Sorry, Christian. Sorry. Do
I know,
carry on. Yeah. Go on. I'm
I know.
here. You were saying. Did you say no, Christian?
You're healing souls with your own scars.
Absolutely. Yes,
Can
I
I,
imagine.
sorry, can I tell you a poem, please? And
Please.
this is it's called smile. Smile because you are here. I know your past has been outrageous. Dreams now have you in fear. The time has come to smile, dear. What happened shouldn't have. You have lived it every day when others brought that bad. There is still life to be had. Your torment won't last forever. I believe you are strong enough to get this together. Smile because you are you and you are beautiful inside and out. If you need to rage burst open a page, let your pen scream and shout. No hanging about. You've got this. Your smile once again. Your laugh is being missed. Your smile is waiting, waiting to be set free. This poet wants to see you smile. You have a friend in me. I respect you so much. Wow, you've blown me away completely.
Oh, no, thank you, Kelly. That's wonderful. Um, and that's it. That's me in a nutshell. I'm not a complicated person. Um, Annette and I have spoken a million times, about all different things right across the board. And it's very hard to convince people that, you do poetry and I narrate poetry. People get the impression that, oh, this guy must be a millionaire because he's this, he's that. And, because of how I do things, I guess. But um, no, I just like helping people. I get a kick. I get a kick. How was the
It feels
expression?
good.
How
It
do we
feels
express that?
good.
It kind of does it for me.
You love adding increase to others because it adds increase.
He's a giver, but I want to
It is a
tell you
good one.
something though, Alan.
Mm.
And I probably have told you this before because I'm a giver too, and I have a hard time receiving.
Do
and
you still do you still owe me any money at all, Annette? No.
right now, Alan, I don't even have money to pay my bills.
Yes, well, bills. They should do away without money. Money there's some messages coming in here that you should
I'm
be
going.
reading.
I'm going 2 months without a paycheck. So
Lovely, Kelly. Yeah, that's beautiful. That was wonderful. That what you just read there, Kelly. Wonderful. When you were reading that, I think you and I should do what do they call that?
A collaboration.
collaboration, that'd be great.
Collaboration. I have lost it tonight. Collaboration. I think you as you are, as you will be, but me with my whatever I am. I think the calmness of me being calm, but you letting it go. I think that would be a good collaboration. That I can hear
Quite
that.
like cheese and chalk type thing.
Yeah, I don't know which one is cheese. I guess that's me.
Wow. I don't want to be the cheese. I'm vegan, so I'll let you.
Cheese then.
You
Although
can be vegan cheese.
You
no,
can be nice cheese, obviously.
I should stay away from dairy products. But there you go. No, but
You can find the balance. You
we
can
must
find
do
the
that
balance. I'm
sometime,
sure of it.
Kelly. Let's do a collab together and maybe write something up. Maybe write something that I have a part in it.
I've actually got a poem that I really would love you to do for me, and it was published last year in the
Okay.
Derbyshire Times.
Oh yeah.
And can I quickly read that before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let me. Is there something in here that I could be doing? You think?
I believe
I don't
with
mean
your
now.
voice to this,
Not
I
the whole
actually
thing.
believe that it would be a very, very good thing.
Or you
Mm.
could send it to him real quick in the message place, and you could have him try to read it.
Where do I find you?
Under comments on the right, there's a private chat. See the
Yeah.
private
Oh, I
chat?
can't do it. I'm on two different phones, you see. I can't use that one. And it's, yeah, pain in the bum. I'll tell you what, I'll read it for now, and then later on I'll send it over.
Please.
So this is called Homeless.
Right.
I'm crying, shocked at the kindness. Beautiful on the inside as rough exteriors causing blindness. A little mindfulness for the heroes who go unspoken, sleeping in doorways because their worlds became broken. Don't ask me to do this as spoke. I'm slightly broken as well. These people still smile while living your worst fear, your worst hell. All these beautiful people with journeys to tell. What you're thought of as they pray. You walk past a man in a sleeping bag with a doorway to stay. They're not in the way. They're not causing you harm. They put up with the coldness. They don't raise alarm. They remain calm as they just fight through each day, praying for the next hot meal or wondering if they'll be kicked from that doorway. Today, I cry for the beautiful on the inside, rough on the out, who still hold their smiles while living in doubt. They know what life is about. Every smile they take in, showing kindness to others to them feels like a win. So just begin to open your eyes. Real people with real problems as they silence their cries. The sleeping bag, the hunger, the love, this bears no lies.
That's good.
Beautiful.
Yeah, I can relate to that. I can relate to that. Send that to
Alan,
me.
Alan,
Oh,
you were looking like you were on your last leg. You're getting looked a little tired.
No, no, no. I was looking down. I apologize for my face.
Oh,
Um, um, um,
not my face.
no, no, no. I was listening with intent, girl. I was listening.
he was
Okay.
listening
I
intently.
was listening, and I was drifting in. I wasn't going to sleep. No, no, no.
I don't have a glass down here, y'all. I'm thirsty. I just brought my bottle of orange juice. It's quite large. I
You
Christian,
can
normally
she
have
does.
mine.
She
You
does
can
this
have
all the
mine.
time. You see, Christian's got a glass, Annette
cheers.
doesn't have a glass
Cheers, Christian.
anyway.
Cheers.
I
Cheers,
have no.
Annette.
Cheers. There you go.
Cheers. Um,
Is
but
yours
no,
a Facebook picture of the dog, Alan?
it is yes.
Cool. I found it.
Yeah, better looking than me.
Ah,
Christian, have you? Why don't you share something, Christian?
In that state, I feel so little, little, but I'll try.
Let me take. I'm not. I can hear. I'm not disappearing. Well, I am, but I'm still here. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Are you, Christian? Are you going to read
Okay,
anything?
okay. Give me 10 seconds, please. And I don't know. I'm not sure what I'm going to read.
Oh, that's okay.
Uh, okay, I got something. I
Okay.
got something.
Okay.
Um, I don't know if I wrote this. I'm not totally sure, but it appears in English language and seems to be my handwriting. So I'm gonna read it. And that's my dog. He reads poetry and says like this. Wow, no. Pusher. Here you are, devoted pusher, cleaning and creating the shine of the ego in other souls, beside your own. In the deepest nights, next to the scent of art, are the touching flowers that play in solitude. The grass inside your word nibbles the reason why old sentences are located in that same place out of you. I am nothing, of that I am sure, but you pretend to be something, pushing in the edge, convenience, anything better than the truth, beyond your own dignity. This doesn't relate at all what you were what we were talking, but it just appeared in the file, so I read it.
It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. I
I
wanted
I,
to
I,
do. I wanted to do. Go ahead. I'm sorry, Christian.
I don't know where, when, or why I wrote it, but it seems to be my style. So I,
This one is
I
called "What Is Love." So it's about a girl asking her father to define love for her. Alan did this one. This is the one that's on YouTube. He did a marvelous job. A little girl questioned her father one day. Papa, I have something I want to say. What exactly does love mean? Can you tell me? Her father said, close your eyes, then you will see. I want you to use your imagination as I speak. With your eyes closed, your mind will show you what you seek. Imagine you are in a meadow with a cool breeze. There is a kite in the air. The grass and the flowers tickle your knees. Then along comes a friendly dog. Your face he begins to lick. You almost start to giggle and laugh. It almost makes you sick. Now we leave the meadow. We are in a busy street. An old woman is walking with a cane. She becomes unsteady on her feet. A young man is walking beside her and lends her his arm. He helps her to her destination, steering her clear from harm. Across the street to the park we go, watching a bird fly to its nest. In its beak, a squiggly worm. He knows his babies like it best. Now, see the young couple strolling their baby in a carriage. A family they have become after 3 years of marriage. Another child has fallen. Its knee begins to bleed from a scrape. The father picks up the child, speaking soothing words. To home they escape. Now you are lying in your bed. I am reading to you from a storybook. Mom is in the kitchen. Smell the brownies she has begun to cook. Now I'm tucking you in bed. I kiss you good night, my precious one. Then I give you the details for tomorrow, a day filled with fun. Papa, I don't understand. I want to know about love, what it means. I know, he said. Think about what I told you. Love resides in all. It's not the mystery it seems.
You.
It's
Yes,
not the
amazing.
mystery it seems. We have several. Gita, if you want to join us, you can. I think Gita's here. I don't know. Now we only have one person. So I'm a big fan of Alan's voice. Alan, is he ready to add to the stream? Oh, there he is. And then we
Yeah.
have whoa, and then we have lovely Kelly. That's beautiful Kelly. Hello,
Thank you.
Christian. Hello, Gita. That's from
Mhm.
Stuart. And then good morning, dear all. I know that's from Gita because she always says, dear all, have a wonderful time.
Yes.
And yeah, there you go. And this one says, yes, you are a diamond, Alan, as are you all. That's nice. Thank you.
Really?
Um,
Diamond. Gosh.
are you the
Here's the
Are
thing,
you the diamond in
Annette.
the rough?
Um,
I
am
propose
I
a
the one to what?
toast. I propose a toast for Alan. And you join me?
Thank you. I have nothing. So you all have a drink, and I have zip over here.
But the toast
To
is for
Alan.
you. To
Um,
Alan. Cheers.
to Alan,
Cheers.
whoever
Well,
he may be, and whoever may sail in him. Um, here's the thing: I have a brother who lives in Norfolk, um, and he's older
I
than me.
live there.
And but he was with. Sorry,
I've got a brother
Kelly.
and sister over there too.
Right, he lives in a place called Snettisham. Uh, God knows where that is. I haven't been yet. He's only just moved. Anyway, quickie. Um, he was everything for me. When I was in the orphanage, when we first went to the orphanage, I was 4 years old. Um, so if you can imagine a 4 year old child, and I can because my grandson's here tomorrow and he is 4. And it kind of reminds me of how young I was to have gone into a place like that. Um, my brother Richard told me a story that I certainly didn't remember, but he told me a very quick story, which I'll tell you now. That when I entered this orphanage, and one of the things he witnessed was I was in a bath. There was no water in the bath, and there were two Christian brothers. One of them had a hose pipe and was hitting me on the back with a hose pipe. And my brother, obviously, he came in and he would be about 10. he came in to try and stop that, and of course he got hit rather badly, and he ended up in hospital with a facial wound. Um, and so these are the atrocities that were going on. Apart from the physical abuse, there was also the mental abuse, being locked in um, a cupboard for long periods of time. Being These are hard to believe. This almost sounds like it's 1942, but it's not. Um, Being tied up on a pole in the school playground, um, completely naked, to be humiliated, so that you respected the Christian brothers. When they abused you, you had to say thank you to them. I am writing a book. I've been writing it for thousands of years. I just can't get to grips with it. I will do one day. I've written oh only 25,000 words, which is nothing really. Um, but I am writing the book. The book um, is, well, as I just said, it's difficult for me to write because you're digging deep into the past, which I very much liked to have put in the past and leave it there. Um, so there you have it. I'm hoping that the book will be finished. I wanted the book to be published when I died. And you might ask, why in heaven's name? Why? But because I am ashamed of all the things that happened to me. Because if I write these things in detail, they are quite horrendous, quite shocking.
Yeah, but I
Um,
think it would help people. I think,
I
you
don't
know,
know. I
you
mean,
don't
look at me
know.
now. Look at me now. Here I am. I've got my keyboard. I'm happy. But this is
He's
a
about
guy that
moving forward. He's like me. He doesn't like living in the past. He wants to move forward, and
exactly,
that's
and you
what I'm
should look
thinking about
forward.
all
Yeah,
the time.
Yeah,
I get that. My poem I wrote, my I'm Getting Divorced poem that got me
yeah.
back into poetry. That everybody said, "Oh, you need to get that published." Somebody said, "Well, you need to write a novel about that." And I said,
Mm,
"No, I
mm,
really
yeah.
don't need to go there anymore.
No,
I don't want to go back there." So,
yeah,
But you know something. You know something. According to what I've seen, what I've heard, what I've felt, well, we got something in common. Us four, we suffer, and we try to remake our scars in a matter that doesn't hurt to us and help others. I include myself too because I suffer a lot. But something that is true is with experience we have had, we can achieve something that's greater. All humankind, there's no humankind that doesn't suffer a loss, a hurt, a damage, very profound, very deep.
mm,
But it's the stage in our life that defines us. Make a definition, make an statement, and it can be hard. But the thing is, when we cross the threshold, when we say we're alive, I made it. I couldn't have done it without harm in
mm,
me, in you, in all of us, in 99% of the human life in this world. So when we cross that and we said, I'm alive,
that's
what
it.
is that? And that's the greatest thing. We realize of it. We
Mm,
achieve. We won. We're alive. We are alive.
we are survivors, right? We are survivors.
No, no, not so much as survive. If
No,
we
we became
live,
our own
we are alive.
heroes.
We're alive.
Well,
Yeah,
becoming
and
our
that's the
own
greatest
heroes.
battle. That's the greatest war we can ever manage.
Well,
I
we
think
are not the
so.
victims; we're the victors.
Yeah, exactly. The way that I see it,
Exactly.
and I've seen it for the last year now, because basically, it wasn't about forgiving those who did what they did or inflicted that pain. It was about me forgiving the universe for dealing me that crap hand in the first place and teaching me them lessons and going, oh, actually, I've learned from them. Can't do anything about them. It's time to move forward.
Yeah.
That's true.
Well, I think I asked Alan before, and it probably to a certain extent goes for all of us, but especially Alan. I know that you've seen some horrific stuff. As I said, so where did Alan come from? Because out of all of that horrendous stuff that you went through, how did you become this wonderful person that you are, that's so caring and loving and kind and giving to people? You know,
Well, I don't know. When I was 16, I drove a car over the cliff to kill myself. Um, I wasn't long out of the orphanage because I was. The reason why I got compensation is because I was falsely imprisoned. This is how the solicitors worded that. And they found a documentation that I was sentenced to 10 years in an institution, an orphanage. Um, because I had no parents, but I did. My mother went on to have 7 more children and totally forgot about the rest of us. So not a nice person at all. What happened? I was 16. I didn't know anybody. My family was dispersed. My brothers and sisters that I had ended up, I don't know. But when you have nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody at all to turn to, there's nothing left. And 16 is a difficult age at the best of times. I was a teenager. I didn't know what love was. I didn't know if anyone, what it felt like to be loved, I guess. So anyway, I tried to commit suicide. Obviously, I'm still here. I didn't succeed. Um, so what made me the person that I am? I think, what else could I become? Um,
a lot of things actually.
Maybe so. And unfortunately, a lot of people who went to these places did end up killing themselves or ending up in prison or going down the wrong path.
Or was there someone that you emulated?
Yes, indeed. My uncle, who is not my uncle by family. I've forgotten the actual word, but he became my uncle by law because at the age of 16, when I went over the cliff, it was his car that I took. He was a professor at Manchester University. I worked for him, and I took his car one night, and remarkably, I drove that car up onto the moors. I don't know how I got there, but anyway, I drove the car over a cliff, ended up in hospital. When I came around, there was a policeman, and there was my boss, Professor John Parry Lewis, stood there in front of me. And he said to me, from this day onwards, it sounds like a Charles Dickens novel, but it's true. It's so true. I sometimes find it hard to believe. But he said, from this day onwards, you have me as your father, your uncle, call me whatever you wish. But I'm going to look after you and give you the life that you deserve. And that's what happened. And it went to court. I could have been.
Because
Took,
because it was his car you stole, right?
it was his car I stole, but also I drove without a license. Of course, I was only 16. They took my license off me, which was quite ironic because I didn't have one, but they still took it off me. And they banned me for driving for a year or something like that. They put me on probation for 1 year. And here is something else that will go in the book. I fell in love with the probation officer, a woman. And I'm saying a woman because it wasn't a man. And I fell in love with the probation officer because she was caring towards me. And I thought that was love. But it wasn't. It was infatuation. I was 16. It so happens, but I did actually go to bed with her, and I was 16, which is wrong in her case. But hey,
Yeah, that's a big
but I'm not.
no, no. You get fired. You're out of there.
I'm not complaining. I enjoyed it. Um, so it was good. I was 16. I went to bed with my own probation officer. I was released early from probation because I was a good boy. I already had music in me because of the schools that I was in. You had to learn music, um, and so on. So, but I always had a passion for the piano. And when you're in a brass band, it's difficult to carry a grand piano on your shoulders. So I never learnt to play the piano at school. I learned to play the trombone, the trumpet, and the euphonium. The euphonium was like carrying a cold turkey on you. It was horrible, horrible thing. And the trombone was just clumsy, and I was always pointing the thing up someone's backside or whatever. Um, so I had piano lessons, and I went to college, and eventually I um, I got my diploma at the Royal Northern College of Music in Manchester. It wasn't called that then, but it is now. And I got my diploma in the LRAM, licensee for the Royal Academy of Music in Manchester. So I ended up teaching piano for a time. Hated it. Hated children because, sorry, I didn't mean to say hated children. Hated teaching children because it was the parents that wanted the child to learn and not the child that wanted to learn. And that kind of reminded me of me. So I gave up teaching and I started to write music, and I thoroughly enjoyed doing that. And my uncle was there for me all the way along. To cut a long story very short, my uncle died about 10 years ago, and I was with him when he died. I was the only person with him. Um, and I remember kissing him on his forehead, telling him to go on his travels. And I thanked him for giving me my life as he just lost his. And it is a Charles Dickens story. Um, and yeah, I owe everything to him. And I continue to owe everything to him. And my passion is not to be an unkind person or a bad person. I just want to be I want to be proud of me for once, you know, because nobody ever else was ever proud of me. I'm not very good at taking compliments because they embarrass me, and but I love giving them out. You know, I like dishing stuff out, but I'm absolutely useless at taking anything. This award I showed you a minute ago, this paperweight, Annette calls it. Um, I had no choice there because it came in the post. Um, you know,
It doesn't mean anything to you.
of course it means because I'm appreciated,
Yes, you
you
are
know,
indeed.
and it's how do you word something? I mean, a question like does it mean anything to you? Well, the answer is yes. Of course it is. But what I my plan and my mission in life is to help poets and to support people along the way. I'm not. I don't. I'm not a lover of ego. I don't like ego. I despise it. Um, and I'm not here to help people who have big egos at all. Uh, I'm not a selfish person, and I like to see people um, be supported. It's that simple, really. You know, and we should all be doing that. And I have urged people over the years to support, but for heaven's sake, if somebody posts a YouTube video, support them for God's sake. Don't just go like. What the hell is like? You know? If you've got time to press like, surely you've got time to say something, and that's my argument. And Annette runs Passionate Poetry. She's the founder of the Passionate Poetry, and it's difficult to get people to support each other, no matter who you are. Um,
Yeah.
I try. I do my bit. I'm hoping they can do their bit. Um, you know, I think there are 600 YouTube videos that I've done up to now of poetry. Um, but when I post something on YouTube, I would like to think that the poet who owns the YouTube video can actually share it themselves as well, not just rely on me to do that. You know, um, and I'm doing my best to I don't know to help people, but it becomes a bit tiresome at times when um, I hear people giving up. I hear I look at the forum, I look at comments, and people are saying nobody wants to know me, nobody reads my stuff, and then I look at them and I think actually you don't read their stuff either. You don't support them. You know, it's a two-way thing.
Yeah.
Um, there you
Yeah, I
go.
think well, it's a community, so it needs to be, that it needs to be reciprocated, really.
Yes,
It needs to be a little bit less selfish in the
absolutely. Yeah,
taking away and
yeah.
being more generous in the giving.
Yeah.
Now
Uh,
the poem that Kelly sent, I've received now. I look forward to doing that for two reasons. I look forward to giving it the life that it deserves. You know, and I already. I'm not trying to sound like a prodigy, but I can already hear the music for it. Sadly, so.
I
Um,
already believe that you've got this 100%. Otherwise, I wouldn't have passed it over to you.
Thank you. No, I appreciate
I've
that.
heard some of your
Yeah.
videos. I've heard your work. You are amazing. I know you don't like comments, but you
No.
are very good at what you do. Very good.
It's time I was really. I've been doing it long enough. And Christian, you must send me something as well. Yeah,
Thank
make sure
you.
that you wrote it, of course. You
Okay.
know, I
So
don't think you.
I would like to give you a little present because I didn't write this for you especially, but I was looking into my poems for Spanish.
Mhm.
There are in Spanish. So I quickly passed to the Google Translator, and after a few corrections, it goes with this. Can I read it via
Absolutely,
my internet?
absolutely, yes.
Okay. In English, it's called, well, in Spanish, it's Alas Desnudas, but in English, it's Bare Wings. And
Okay,
wish me luck because I never read things like this in English. And it goes to you, dear Alan.
thank you.
We get together the destiny on naked wings, and that's my dog residing with me. No, no. We're getting together the destiny on naked wings, flapping in silence, emotional boats that the universe shelters among the treacherous mystery that appears in front of this fractal showcase that we call life from the cursed blessing arising in each one as an effervescent consciousness, polished and behind the scene of the crazy, crazy world, spread in places within the soul, cloudy and inclusive that the sun gives to the moon, like a pin that holds a global mirror at its tip, the very meaning of existing, hanging all the answers and living from that side into roaring hallelujahs, eating opaque honey, drowning in drops, shining away from the inside, the music you play when flying, will your phosphorescent footprints on the canvas that is the air. Move, flap those limbs, release energy and gather it again because of floating above it all. while you live under a rainbow transparency. Burn the skin, burn the soul, and your feelings. If that it is, the fool's flying.
Oh, thank you.
Beautiful.
Thank you indeed, Christian.
Beautiful.
Thank
Wonderful.
you. Thank you.
It's kind of you. Kind of you. But I going back to not going back to me, but going back to poetry. Um, it's there's such a variety, isn't there, out there? You know, you have Stuart Dan, and you know we know Stuart's story. We know that story. Um, and then when you shift over to Dennis Brown, you get a different kind of poetry. Again, it's just off on a different way. And I when I know that Stuart sends me a poem, I already know what this poem is going to be about because, um, and with the greatest of respect to him, it's a loss. It's an awful loss. It's a great loss, and he continues to write about that loss, and he writes it in so many variations, and then I'm presented with having to produce that in so many different ways as well, almost making it different from the last one. Yet it's the same theme constantly. Um, Other people, I'm trying to. I mean, like yourself, Annette, your poetry that I've done quite a lot of, paid as well. Not as much as I would have liked, but you know, you just have to get what you're given, Annette. You know. But
I'm guessing I pay you probably more than most people, but
I'm
I'm
sorry,
just
that was a
saying.
bad line. Then I don't know what happened, but anyway, um, no. But Annette's your style of writing is how can I put it? It's almost like a domino set. Do you know what dominoes are?
Yeah, Domino's.
The game dominoes, or even a black and white keyboard. You know, you can write about love and rejection, that kind of thing, but
Mm,
then you also skip over to the other side, which is very
yeah.
much the Dennis Brown kind of thing.
Mm.
You know, I don't you know Dwayne Leon Rankin. I don't know.
Rankin, Rankin.
Yeah, his poetry, of course, is right up my street
Yeah.
because it's the countryside. It's everything I love about the countryside, and he captures all the seasons, nature, and so on.
Yeah, I do nature too, though. I've done a lot of
Yeah,
nature.
not as much as Dwayne. You
Probably
know,
not.
got a bit of catching up to do there, Gail. Um,
I'm gonna
but
have to. I'm sorry, y'all, but
me
um,
too. Me too.
I have not had anything to eat, and I've been up since like 3 in the morning, and
Yeah,
I'm
bushed.
I'm bushed, and I've been at this computer for 4 hours now.
I know. But listen, it's been a real pleasure seeing. I'm glad I've met you, Kelly. I'm happy to. I am
Pleasure.
now actually going to do your poem when we come off air. I'm going to start recording because I'm already here. Might as well.
I'm all ready for bed. I am. I'm all back.
You're, you're going to bed.
I am
Yeah,
indeed.
yeah, no, that's fine. But I'll do some work. I've got the grandkids tomorrow, and
Just take your time with it. Just go with it. You've got as long as you want. You know, you're an artist. You know,
no, I'm not. I'm not an artist at all.
no, you are. What you do is a skill.
No, yeah.
You are an
Well,
artist.
and Christian, is he there? You still there, Christian?
Yes,
Yeah.
here, yeah,
I
thank
thought
you.
you were talking. Send me something. Yeah,
Yeah, well,
when you get an opportunity. And Annette, we'll be in touch anyway, no
Yes,
doubt.
sir.
It's your show. We haven't done very well with people. I don't know who's been commenting. I haven't been reading them.
We'll have to read them later. I think it's
Some other
mostly
time.
Stewart's. There's only been like one or two
Stuart.
people here.
Yeah,
So we'll,
Stuart.
yeah.
Somebody said I usually do comment if I go to YouTube. You know, that's not a personal dig at anybody. That was just in general.
Yeah, it is in general. A lot of people don't. I mean, even I'm guilty of it, but I don't really use YouTube that much. But I do need to start doing it because
Yeah.
my videos are getting more often now. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. This woman here is either yawning her head off here. Poor
I'm
Annette.
just.
I know you are.
I haven't slept well in the last 2 or 3 nights.
It's not often that your host kicks you off the show, is it? Not often that happens.
I'm so sorry. I'm just afraid that I'm going to be going.
Yeah. Right. I too have a good one.
You're gonna start. Yeah, well, personal portrait. Yeah,
But,
yeah.
but I
No.
love all of you. I love all of you, and I adore all of you. So,
Yeah.
and thank
We
you,
love you
Alan,
too.
We
for
love you.
joining us and gracing us with your lovely presence. You're a
Well, it's not just
wonderful
me.
man. But then we're all wonderful too, right, Alan?
Not really. Kelly is a lovely woman. I've only known her for an hour, is it, or something? Christian, when he gets a word in, if the dog doesn't get in before him, fantastic. No, Annette, lovely lady.
My dog is a very recitator than
Very
me.
quickly, what kind of dog is it, Christian? What
It's
kind of
like
dog is it?
okay, it's a poodle.
It's a poodle. Right.
Sadie. Oh,
Okay.
I was wondering where my dog is. I locked her in my bedroom because she barks a lot of times when I'm on.
No,
So-
my dog is pretty poetic too because sometimes when he barks, he says, "Woo, woo, 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 woo,
That's
woo,
quite
woo,
musical.
woo, woo."
Mine doesn't bark like that. It just eats people straight away. No barking, just eats. Nah, it's Willow. You know Willow. You've seen photographs.
Willow's sweet.
She's gorgeous. She's behind me. She's asleep on the chair behind me.
My dog, I started to give a haircut today. Poor thing. Not quite done with her yet, but
right, I'm going to go, and it's lovely to
Okay.
meet you, Kelly,
Bye, y'all.
Christian.
Thank
Nice
you,
to see you.
thank
Bye,
Thank
everybody.
you. Thank you so
And I'll
much.
be in touch. Take care. Bye bye for now.
Love you all. Good
Bye,
night.
everyone.
Bye bye.
Good night.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you.